Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Mobile Suit Gundam. Last time around we watched Mobile Suit Gundam 2, Soldiers of Sorrow, and boy were they. Okay, let me try to remember everything that happened. I just watched it a week ago, but I haven't edited it at all. Full disclosure, at time of recording this movie, I still have not finished working on the first one, so... yeah, these will be out when they're out. That's pretty much where I'm going. I'm just trying to backlog a bunch of movie reactions right now. So yeah, well, we were on Earth, went around to different places. There was, again, about 4 character arcs for Amuro. There was the whole discussion of new types, that he and Sayla might be new types, which are... let me see if I get this right. People who are tech sensitive? I don't know. It's something important. That's what new types are. But also something very, very vague. So, yeah. So there was that. Sayla is... I don't think she's, going back and forth on whether or not to join Zeon or not. But she's definitely concerned about her brother, because her brother is Char, so that's a problem. There was... oh, what was his name? Ral. That was it, right? Yeah, Ral. He was pretty interesting. He was a good antagonist. And his lady friend, Haman. They were very interesting characters, very human characters in the middle of this war, so I enjoyed that. We had some deaths. Ryu, Lieutenant Matilda, Woody, I don't remember his rank, I'll just say Lieutenant anyway. We also had a bit of a character arc for Kai, because he went through a whole thing too. He had a little subplot there, and yeah. And where we left off, basically, is, White Base is headed back into space, and that's pretty much where we're going into the final chapter of this story, which I'm pretty sure this is it. Now, having said that, because I have this loaded up here on Netflix, I did actually notice that there do seem to be new things. So I'm seeing another thing. I can't read the title per se, but I'm seeing other movies aside from these 3. It seems like a continuation years later with Amuro. I'm seeing something with Char, so I don't know. I don't know if that spoils anything or not. I don't know. In any work of fiction, knowing that a character will be in a future installment does not exactly spoil if they live or not. So, I don't know. Are we going to defeat Char? Are we going to defeat Zeon? Because that's also a big thing. I don't know. I feel like we don't really know much about the hierarchy, the royal family, I guess, of Zeon. And we mainly have a rivalry with Char, so I don't know. Maybe this won't end the story. I don't know. But I saw that, it's this sort of years later story with Amuro, and I thought, well, if I watch that, maybe I'll wait a bit, watch some other stuff, watch some other movies in the meantime, then I'll come back to it after a while, and that way, maybe I'll still, I'll get the same effect, because I don't want to just go straight in, years later, here we go, I do kind of want to keep up that, oh, yeah, it's been a while since I've seen these characters, but I don't know, we'll have to see. Maybe I'll see some of your comments about it, I have no idea. Maybe I will do that, though. Maybe I will wait to record more Gundam stuff with Amuro and Char, any of those things that I see here on Netflix. I will wait until this reaction goes up to this particular movie. So hopefully that might kick my butt into gear to get these videos out. But yeah, so but none of that matters right now. What does matter is Mobile Suit Gundam 3 Encounters in Space. So, like always, the reaction is down in the description and the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. There is also the full-length reaction over on Patreon. If you're a $5 patron, you can watch the movie alongside me. Again, I'm watching the sub. I honestly don't even know if there is a dub of the Mobile Suit Gundam movies. If there is, I bet it's probably really old. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Why don't we go ahead and jump right into Mobile Suit Gundam 3 Encounters in Space. Here we go. Criminy, I'm exhausted, man. Okay. Well, I see and also don't see how there is a follow-up. Because, on the one hand, yeah, the war did kind of have to end. Because the entire Zabi family is gone, you know? Which I feel like they didn't... I don't know, like, they didn't feel like as big of a threat or as big of characters as I expected, you know? Like, again, sort of comparing this to Code Geass, the only other mecha anime I've ever seen in my life, Schneisel was a threat, you know? He was a threat, he was a problem that even, spoilers, even after dealing with Charles Z. Britannia, like, the next thing was, now you have to face Schneisel, you know? But here, the Zabi family, like, I don't know, I never really got a feel of any of them. Except maybe Garma in the first one, but that was about it. I don't know. So, on the one hand, that's it. Trilogy's over, because the war ended. That's the end of the war between the Earth Federation and Zeon. On the other hand, Char is still out there. But, I don't know, without... Because his whole thing was, you know, destroying the Zabi family. But I don't know, what is he going to do now? Boy, this one went places, and I'm going to apologize in advance if I don't get everything. Like, this movie in particular, I mean, it makes sense that, you know, this one is the one that goes hard on the new type stuff. But I already didn't fully understand new type. And now, I don't know. I don't know. This is a lot. This was definitely a lot. I will say, probably the most confusing, baffling thing is the inclusion of Lala. Because that really does feel like it comes out of left field. Like, oh yeah, Char has this psychic girlfriend. Okay. I guess she was innocent. Like, I know they're trying to make the comparison between her and the Swan, basically, but is she innocent? Like, it kind of seemed like she knew what she was doing. I guess because, you know, she wasn't a soldier, she was just a new type, and she was exploited by Char specifically. Where did he find her? Why didn't he use her before this? How long did they know each other? I don't know. That's gonna be the thing where I'm gonna sit here really confused, you know? That whole thing was crazy, man. And also, okay, here's just another thing, and this is going to be weird, but were they trying to set up a thing between Amuro and Sayla? I don't know. I mean, look, it's not... I guess just because fiction, so many movies and everything, has, like, drilled it into your head that, like, oh, there's gotta be, you know, the main hero and their love interest, you know? Like, that has appeared in so much friggin' fiction that, going back, honestly, I feel like it's nice to go back to, 1982 when this came out. Of course, end of the 1970s when it originally came out. It's like, let's not think about it. It's like, oh, who does Amuro end up with? Who fucking cares? I'll tell you who he ends up with. He ends up with the people of White Base, They're a friggin' family now. Which they do kind of mention that Mirai is kind of like the mother of the crew. See, again, though, I see it as more of, like, she's sort of an older sister. And then, because, like, if you're going on that assumption, and you would say, like, Bright is the father, honestly, he's definitely the older brother, because he's so young, Because he's so young and inexperienced, at the beginning compared to them. It's like, I can sort of see it. Yeah, I can see the dynamic, but I sort of see them as, like, the two elder siblings, Like, everyone here, we got a sort of brother, a sibling energy among the people of White Base. So I don't want to be like, oh, and again, kind of tying this back to Star Wars, because there is some influence of Star Wars, or at least, similarity, just with the whole new type thing. It's like, oh, you could say it's kind of like the Force, except instead of just one guy having it, they all kind of are new types in their own way, So, it's just that some are stronger with it than others, But even kind of going back to that is sort of a nice thing when you look back on Star Wars, and it's like, oh, we don't need Luke Skywalker to end up with anyone. The closest was going to be Leia, but then, well, we all know how that turned out. That whole, you want to talk about a sibling dynamic between them, huh? And I guess because these two movies specifically emphasize Sayla so much more, I guess it makes sense. I will say, after the first movie, they basically never use Frau again, Like, she is really just relegated to A, dealing with the kids, or B, taking over Sayla's post when she's in her core fighter. Like, that's really it. Like, after the first movie, Frau is really not a character, which kind of sucks. I kind of wish there was more with Frau. I understand, I understand having more with Sayla, and giving her more character, especially with her relationship to Char. But I do kind of wish there was more with Frau. So, and I don't know, maybe that's something, like, just because of the editing of the movies. Maybe it is different in the anime. I don't know. Also, we will definitely do the continuation. Even though, it's like I said, I was debating, like, well, should there be a continuation after this? Because if this trilogy does end Amuro's story, then that's fine, Like, we live in a day and age where everything from the past keeps getting dragged up, Just so many different things. Like, it's nice to have something new, even if because I know there are more Gundam series and movies and stuff, but I'm fine with, like, just let's have something new, but still kind of in that, Mobile Suit Gundam world. It's the same thing of, like, again, going back to Star Wars, nowadays it's like, yes, we can have some of this stuff with, with returning characters and stuff like that, and most of the time that is fine, but then you get something new in Star Wars, and it's like, oh, hey, that's really cool, Like, that's really nice. I enjoyed it. It was a fresh, new thing, despite still being in that world. So there's that. But on the other hand, this does this already sort of left it open for there to be more with Amuro, especially, I feel like, with Char, because I don't know, I feel like his story didn't really end. But that's the thing, is that I had kind of been speculating since the first one that Char might, maybe he's trying to rise in the ranks and stuff like that, which is why he got rid of Garma. And to an extent, that's true, that he's trying, at least he claimed he was trying to get revenge for his father, Zeon, and destroyed the Zabi family for, destroying his father's legacy and stuff like that, and killing him, really. But then in this movie, even though we get the explanation in this movie really focuses more on Char not being, like, I don't know, like, he's not accepting of new types, but he is a new type, and he had a new type girlfriend, but he hates Amuro. I'm not really sure what that was about. And the whole thing with Lala, it's like, I honestly, it feels like it kind of bogged down Char's story just a bit, because I'm trying to take in all this new information while also being like, well, wait a minute, because how does this play off of the first two movies, where we saw him, betraying Garma, and, last movie we didn't see a ton of Char until the end, but it still was that, and now it's like, no, it's this whole new type thing with Lala and all that, but also he is still trying to get revenge on the Zabi family, so I don't know. That's a whole thing to where I am kind of okay with more movies, not even, like, I don't know, like, I'm sure the next movies, do continue Amuro's story, but I am way more interested in getting more of Char. And Char was always just an interesting character from the beginning, so I'm definitely more interested in getting more Char than more Amuro. It'll be great to have more Amuro, and I would like to see more of his story, but Char is definitely the one where I feel like I didn't get enough. Like, his story is nowhere near done, So, I don't know. But yeah, but that was a whole, that felt like such a whole big thing. I mean, it really is, like, even just down to at the ending when he's like, oh, no, I'm sorry, Lala. We can be together at any time, but I need to go back to them now. And it's like, you knew her for all of, like, 5 minutes. Like, why? I don't know. It just seems so strange. And again, maybe it's the pacing of the movie, but it just, for me, it seems so strange how much Lala affected him in this, Like, even, like, I feel like this has affected him equally, if not more, than Lieutenant Matilda, and she was in 2 movies, And even there, I was kind of like, okay, he just, he likes her, she's a really damn good officer, and he likes her, and he's affected by her death, yes. But here, it's like, he knew Lala for all of, like, what, 5 minutes? I don't know. Maybe it's the new type stuff, but I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something there. So, again, if that's going to keep going in the next movies, that's great. Maybe I'm missing something, I don't know. We are going to take a break before we move on to the next movies, because I do want to react to other movies. So, I'm going to take a break, get these 3 on YouTube, and then after I get this video on YouTube, then I'll go back and I'll start watching the rest. But I gotta figure out what order they're in. I don't know if it's called Mobile Suit Gundam 4 or not. Like, yeah, I genuinely don't know much about. I guess I could look it up. I don't know. Let me see. Like, what is the next movie, basically? Well, I'm just on the Wikipedia page, and I'm just seeing, like, differences between this and the anime. And yeah, there's some interesting stuff. Like, there was a G armor upgrade thing in the anime, and that was basically replaced by the core boosters. And then in this, apparently the third film has a lot of new footage, so that's an interesting thing. Oh shit, apparently they did a dub in 99 with Steve Bloom as Char. That's pretty good. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm not finding anything, and I need to keep going. We need to keep talking, basically. I don't know. So yeah, I'll figure out what the next parts of the story are, because again, here on Netflix, I guess I can just look at it here on Netflix. But here on Netflix, yeah, it's got like, another Mobile Suit Gundam, and there's another one here that mentions Char, so here we go. Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack. So they stopped numbering them. Okay. 13 years after the war, the Neo-Zeon army threatens the peace. Armed with the new Gundam, Amuro Ray and Federation forces take the field once more. Alright then. There, now I can actually... I couldn't see it, so yeah. Mobile Suit Gundam Char's Counterattack. So yeah, the next movie is about Char. Well, I mean, it's still about all these characters, but it's Char as the main villain, which makes sense. So, because yeah, it really felt like Char is the closest to the main villain, but at the same time, I don't know, I just felt like we didn't get enough. I mean, we tore through like 4 people in the Zabi family this movie, Because we had the one dude with the chin scar with Big Zam. I friggin' love the name Big Zam. Oh, hey, Big Zam. It's just great. We had, was it Girin? Girin, who got killed by his sister. Then his sister got killed by Char. And their father was killed by Girin, so... I don't know, it was an interesting thing. I did like I like the moment where, he's like laying out his plan to his father, and he's just like, you ever hear of Hitler? And he like explains Hitler to him, and he's like, yeah, I think I can work with that. And he's like, okay, you can say that then. 140 years ago, I guess, for them. Just about. So, yeah, that's... But I mean, they were interesting, but at the same time, I feel like I didn't really get anything out of it. I mean, again, like, the biggest thing I got out of Big Zam Guy was Big Zam, and that's only because I watched a YouTube video 10 years ago that referenced Big Zam. I mean, okay, it was a video playing a Gundam game, and now I'm gonna go back to that video and watch and be like, oh my god, I get all of this. I know what all of these things maybe are. I at least know Big Zam, so that's something. I'll probably know the Gundam. Maybe the Red Comet is in there, So there's that. But yeah, but other than that, like, they didn't really like leave an impression, which for the commanders of the enemy, the supreme sovereignty of our enemy, I didn't really get much out of them. So I got a lot more out of Char. Some of it I don't fully get, but I guess I should put Char's Counterattack on my my list here on Netflix. So other stuff. Okay, Slegger. I'm not gonna get that. I'm just not gonna get Slegger. Like, he showed up literally at the end of last movie, like, hey, I'm here now too, and it's like, okay, this guy seems like a jackass. And then he is a jackass, and then he dies, and apparently Mirai did have a thing for him. Okay, he seemed like a jackass. He slapped you. Didn't know you were into that. It's just, I don't know. I'm just gonna stick with Frau. She's a good, nice girl. She didn't have so much baggage. She didn't have weird types. Let's just stick with Frau. She's not. Granted, she didn't have enough screen time in the last 2 movies to have baggage. I don't know. That was weird. There was the whole thing with Cameron, who seemed to be a genuinely nice guy. I mean, it was an arranged marriage, so I get if she didn't actually like him, but I don't know. He seemed nice. He never slapped you like that one jackass, so I don't know, Mirai. I don't know. Texas, that was funny. Like, it's not just that it's like, oh, this is called Texas and it's a desert, tee hee ha ha. They have covered wagons and horses. Why? Like, that's so stupid, but I just kind of love it. It's just funny, you know? There was the whole thing with the mirrors. I must have looked away for a split second, because I don't know what the hell those mirrors did, you know? Oh, there's the dad. Man, at the beginning of the first movie, it's like, oh, man, what happened to his dad? That's got to be like a big thing, you know? What happened to his dad? And we see his mom again. It's like, what happened to his dad? We gotta find out. And then here it's like, oh, he went crazy. Yeah, alright. I don't know, man. I guess if we're gonna hot take, I don't know if this is a hot take, because I don't know anything about the Gundam community, what their thoughts on these movies are. But so potential hot take, but I don't know. This is going to be my least favorite of the three. I think the first one is probably the best. The second one is really good too. Like, the second one's probably pretty close, if not on par with the first movie. But this one is just like a couple knocks below, and that's it. You know, it's not bad, but there's just a lot of things in here where I'm just like, what are we doing? You know, I don't know. Now, I did see that part of that is, maybe not part of it, but part of it may be that the show was originally like almost canceled. Like, it was supposed to be like 53 episodes, then it got shortened to 39, and then they got it back to like 42 or something. But apparently the anime series was not popular when it was airing, but the movies were very popular. The movies basically springboarded the whole Gundam phenomenon, I guess you could say. Which, honestly, you know, we've been talking about Star Wars this whole time. That's honestly a lot closer to Star Trek, where the original series, yeah, it had its fans, but it got canceled after 3 seasons, and only when it started to run in syndication that it got such a fan base, and Star Trek was able to continue on with the Next Generation and stuff. So I'm curious, I guess now, because I know... Well, actually, here, why don't we just look here on Netflix? Does this have a year? 1988. Char's Counterattack came out in 1988. So yeah, that was a while. They took a break and then came back with that one. So I don't know. So I don't know if maybe, like, because they were under threat of cancellation and stuff, and maybe they were trying to, trying to get this story told. I don't know if maybe that does affect it, but then again, this is the movie, you know? You would think that any problems that might have existed in the anime could be resolved, especially because this third one did have a lot of new footage, apparently. So, I don't know. But yeah, but the whole thing with the dad, I mean, that sucks, and it's like, oh, you know, he lost it, you know? He lost it, but it is just kind of weird that it's like, at that point, I might have rather you just not gone back to the dad at all, you know? And maybe that could have been something that just kept haunting Amuro, especially after what happened with his mother, you know? Big Zam? Big Zam. Yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know. There's not really much else for me to talk about with this one. It was good. I still enjoyed it, and it's a decent ending to the story. But the fact that I know that there's another movie called Char's Counterattack, yeah, that makes sense. That honestly, it makes sense, and I'm kind of glad for it, because I would love to see. I want to see more of this. I want to see more of this fleshed out, you know? So, I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Again, I'm not going to be moving on to Char's Counterattack for a little bit. I do want to get other movies under my belt. I think I'm going to go find some one-off movies instead of series to do for a bit. But we are going to come back. Hopefully, you know, I'll record it. I'll probably record it for me in maybe a month or so. So when it will come out, I have no idea, because I have no idea how long it's going to take me to get this out. Again, I haven't even finished editing the first one yet at time of recording this, so just know eventually we are going to get to Char's counterattack, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Mobile Suit Gundam reactions, as well as another playlist with all of my movie reactions if you want to go check out more of those. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.